But at the same time, nothing is probably worth more than the bracelet,
Yes.
the bracelet itself.
I love that you have that around.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
Sir, how's it going, Drew?
Good, brother. How are you?
Good, good. I look at you're looking very like presentable for the Killers game.
Oh, thank you. You said I don't look presentable always. That hurts my feeling. Hurts my
Well,
feeling. The one I've got left.
yeah. Well, I always see you like in wrestling, just being a menace. So it's like a different view on
Yeah.
things. Like
Usually I'm
on
in
the
my
other side.
underpants, so it just didn't seem
Yeah,
appropriate today, or a kilt. And then, but if I
yeah.
uncross my legs, we're gonna have a basic instinct moment. So I thought I'd wear pants.
So all right. So Killers game. You're in this. You're playing an assassin and a Scottish assassin. So what was that like? Just playing opposite Dave Bautista in this.
That was so much fun. Um, this is my first movie I've been part of. The character that was presented to me by Dave was so, exciting and intriguing to me. And it's a world that people have asked me constantly, you're going to get involved with eventually. I was like, we'll see what happens. I'm a wrestler. That's first and foremost and is number one, in my life. But to be there, be with Dave, who I grew up with, in WWE, he was already a main eventer when I arrived in 2007. And I was a kid that knew nothing. And he helped guide me on my journey when I first arrived, not just navigating WWE, but also navigating life because I was absolutely clueless. I was just picked up from Scotland at college and dropped down. And he was there, as a friend and mentor. And it's interesting to fast forward so many years, the success he's had, in the entertainment world in Hollywood. And now he's doing the exact same thing. He's helping guide me along, mentoring me once again. And the experience on the movie was just, unreal. It's crazy what WWE prepares you for. It really prepares you for, it feels like anything in life, but specifically this world. I was so nervous. Dave calmed my nerves, and that red light went on. I just relaxed again.
Oh yeah, and in this, your brother is played by Scott Adkins. And what was that like? Because he's a martial artist. You're a wrestler. Do you guys get to like train each other, show each other's tips? And yeah, I just want to know what that was like.
I wish I could do half the stuff Scott could do, and I would incorporate them into some of my matches. But yeah, he's capable of kicks and strikes and things I don't even have the name for. He's just such an unbelievable athlete, but such a great guy. And he's somebody that pretty much played, my brother for real on the set. Obviously I had Dave there, but Scott was there at all times with me and was able to kind of guide me along. If I needed some advice or wasn't sure about something, Scott was the one I would ask, constantly, like, hey, is this okay? Or he would come to me, go, hey, Drew, try this, and, reinforce, hey, you're doing, good, or whatever. Are you sure? Are you doubly sure? And he would just, keep motivating me along. And that first take when they say cut, and I don't get that real-time feedback of cheers and boos, knowing I did well, and they say moving on, and I'm like, oh, everyone was silent. Was I terrible? And he had to remind me, no, that's what happens here. If they say moving on, that's like your cheers, that's like your boos. That means you did a good job, even though it's complete silence.
Oh yeah, I forget like that happens. Like I need some kind of instant reaction to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, did a good job if you're not cheering or booing. Like the death blow in WWE is if you walk out there and they're silent. It's like, wow, they do not care whatsoever. And that's the
Yeah.
like as soon as I got that first cut, I went, oh no, they're just wondering why they brought me to Budapest. I was like, oh no, apparently I did a good job. Thank you. Of course I
Oh
did.
yeah. And so in this movie, your opening scene, you start off in the pub, right? So I was wondering what your relationship is in pub life because I feel like Scotland pub life just goes hand in hand. And what is your relationship with that? If you've gone to pubs or you're like a regular.
I don't really have a regular where I live these days, but yeah, I mean that's where everybody socializes in the UK. You finish work, you finish school, whatever it is you do, and everybody meets in the pub, or you just go yourself. There's always company there. You watch the football, the real football, the one you kick with your feet, and that's just part of our culture. And coming to America, and it was still very much part of the culture for myself, and people from the same side of the world. I remember when I first started dating my wife years ago, she was like, "Do we need to talk? You're always in the bar, like an alcoholic or whatever." I explained to her, I was, "Oh no, that's just where we hang out, where we do the socializing or whatever." So yeah, I'd done some serious method preparation, let's say, for this role or that scene in particular.
Oh yeah. And so in this, because wrestling's number one for you, but then now being in the killer's game, and let's say in the future, let's say somebody wants you to be the leading man in your own action movie, or maybe a drama. Like, who would you want to face in terms of like your rivals? It could be like maybe a fellow wrestler or anyone.
Hmm. Like I'm very open, like to again what excites me. So drama is something. Dave and I were literally talking today, and he'd mentioned about my real personality, a lot like him, softer spoken, but such a big guy. Like he was excited with the idea of me trying something like that, which also excites me. So let's say it's something like a drama. Who would work across from me? Oh. First,
Tough
I'm
one.
thinking it's something serious. I started laughing because I started thinking of Nicolas Cage and how crazy it would be. I was like, wait, I'm trying to be serious here.
No,
But
no,
it
there
was
could
so
be a serious
entertaining
moment
and it
with
would
Nicolas
excite
Cage.
me. So
Yeah.
I'm very open to that. I've been watching some of his new movies and chuckling. That's why he's in my head recently. Like so, yeah. So maybe let's do some of Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah, Nicolas Cage, that's good. And so your storyline right now with CM Punk, right? The thing that everyone is just excited about, just like something like a bracelet can just get people so emotional because I'm doing a bracelet thing,
Oh yeah.
and so I was wondering for you if personally, if you can have any item from a wrestler, like either the past or present, like for example, let's say Bret Hart's shades, like which one would you want to have and keep, like for your own, just token?
Ooh. Do need to get a pair of shades signed by Brett because I was the biggest Brett fan as a kid, but I can have that, so that's not in the dream list. Maybe like a pair of like Andre the Giant's boots would be something. I know we've got them in the WWE museum. Like that'd be a pretty cool, historical item. Like he's become such a legend, not just in wrestling, but outside of wrestling, to the point where he's like the Loch Ness monster. Did he truly exist? And you go, no, his footage, he did actually exist. So he's become such a, an anomaly. But at the same time, nothing is probably worth more than the bracelet,
Yes.
the bracelet itself.
I love that you have that around.
Oh, just
So,
always by my side. I always
yeah,
bring, my extended family with me. They're
yeah.
not so happy in the situation they're in, so I bring them everywhere, make sure they have a good time. They're involved with a real movie with a real man. So yeah, AJ and Larry are always by my side.
So, because the schedule, right, for just wrestling and also movies, do you feel like it's different? Because wrestling, you're always traveling around. Like yesterday was Monday Night Raw, and then you have Bash to Berlin, and then now you're promoting this. How do you handle all the craziness?
I don't know any different. I've been a wrestler since I was 15. I started with WWE when I was 22. It is different, spending time on the set and watching, how things are done. There are long days, but obviously you've got a certain time period you get the movie done in, and certain people work certain days, and you will have a long day, which is fine with me because, again, as I mentioned already, wrestling prepares you for anything. WWE prepares you for anything. There's no travel schedule like ours, workload like ours. When it comes to 52 weeks a year, no rerun, no off season, traveling the world all the time. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it that much. But at the same time, you do something like a tough day on the set. It's like, this is easy. Like when it comes to like a week in WWE, you mentioned, I was in Providence, Rhode Island last night. I drove to Boston, flew to LA. For today, we'll have the media day for Killer's Game. I'll fly back to Nashville in the red eye, arrive at 9 a.m., take care of what I have to take care of at home. Then I'll fly to Berlin on Thursday. We'll have media and the kickoff show in Berlin on Friday. The match with Punk will end his career on Saturday. I'll fly back to Denver to celebrate with everybody for Monday Night Raw. And I haven't looked beyond that because I take everything kind of 1 week at a time.